For more than 4 decades, the Libyan people have been ruled by a tyrant, Muammar Gaddafi.
But he was our tyrant, wasn't he?
He has denied his people freedom.
How about Iran, what they're doing to their people?
Who were killed by Libyan agents.
Couldn't you spare one tomahawk
Last
for
month,
Tehran?
Gaddafi's grip of fear appeared to give way to the promise of freedom.
But why Gaddafi now? Why all of a sudden
and
now?
Towns across the country.
Comrade Barry,
Libyans
but why
took to
now?
the streets to claim their basic human rights.
Are you kidding me?
As one Libyan said, for the first time, we
Who
finally
gives a
have
damn
hope.
about Libyans? Where'd
Our
this come
nightmare
from? That
40
they're
years
all of a sudden
has
Libyans are my friends and my problem.
Faced with this opposition,
There are millions of Americans who are out of work
Gaddafi
while you're on
began attacking
vacation.
his people.
You're on vacation in Rio de Janeiro. There are people looking for work
The
here.
safety of our citizens.
Not
we
Libya.
Evacuated our embassy and all Americans who sought our assistance. When we took a series of swift steps in a matter of days to answer Gaddafi's aggression.
But you didn't go to
We
Congress.
froze more than $33 billion.
You didn't go to Congress. You acted like a petty tin pot dictator.
Joining with other nations at the United Nations Security Council, we broadened our sanctions, imposed an arms embargo, and enabled Gaddafi and those around him to be held accountable for their crimes.
How about accountability in your
I made it
administration
clear
for the crimes that you're
Gaddafi
committing?
had lost
Shall I
the
enumerate
confidence
10 of
his
them?
people
Let's
and
start with
legitimacy
Obamacare,
to
the
lead.
trillions you stole out of the
I said
economy.
He needed to step down from power. Journalists were arrested, sexually
Journalists,
assaulted.
journalists
and killed.
were attacked. Anderson
Supplies
Cooper's
of
hair
food
was
and
mussed
fuel
up,
were choked
so he
up.
went to war.
Water for hundreds of thousands of people in Misrata was shut off.
Does this man think he's the
Cities
Messiah?
and towns were shelled, mosques
Do you
were
believe
destroyed,
one word coming out of this
apartment
man's
buildings
mouth?
reduced to rubble.
This is nonsense.
Military
When
jets,
has Libya
helicopters,
been
gunships
a
were
national
unleashed
priority
upon
for
people
America?
who had no means to defend
Can
themselves
one person
against
listening to this
assaults
show
from the
name one national security component to do with Libya? Zero.
air. And a looming humanitarian crisis. I ordered warships into the Mediterranean.
I ordered warships in the middle of my
European allies
vacation. We were
declared their
doing
willingness to
a
commit
certain dance
resources
in
to
Brazil.
stop the killing.
I'm sick. I don't know how much more I can take of it. I may turn the
Opposition
speech off.
And the Arab League appealed to the world to save lives in
The
Libya.
Arab League. All of a sudden, the Arab
So
League,
at
a
my
bunch of
direction,
despotic throwbacks.
America led
I care about the Arab League
our
now.
allies at the United Nations
Let them
Security
send their
Council
sons to
pass
kill Gaddafi.
Historic resolution. Gaddafi declared he would show no mercy to his own people. He compared
And
them
what about
to rats.
Iran? Tell me about the mercy your friend Ahmadinejad and the mullahs are showing to the Iranians who want freedom.
In the past,
How about your friends in China?
in the
How about the
streets,
kidneys in China?
over 1,000 people in a single day.
How many people are dying in China? Tell us about the Falun Gong. Tell us about the Christians in China.
I refused to let that happen.
You refused what? In between your basketball scores and your trip to South America? You refused? When did you squeeze this in?
Military action to stop the killing.
When did you squeeze this in? What, your mother-in-law tell you to authorize it? Samantha Powers, who told you to do this? Hillary Clinton? Where is Hillary Clinton? She's off to London.
And the people within
The
it.
warmonger is not even here, the one who did it.
In this effort,
We.
the United States has not acted alone.
Oh,
Instead,
get
we
out of
joined
here. We didn't
by a
act
strong
alone.
and growing
No, you're
coalition.
part of an international coalition
This
led by
includes
Henry Kissinger.
allies. Nations like the United Kingdom.
Oh,
France,
yeah.
Canada,
United Kingdom.
Denmark,
Denmark, you hear? Now you got
Italy,
Finland. Finland threw in a
Spain,
few packs of cheese.
Greece, and Turkey,
Greece, look at that.
all of whom
The
have
Greeks
fought
threw in
by
a
our
Jeep.
sides for decades.
Turkey threw in a
And
Jeep.
it includes Arab partners like Qatar,
Arab
the
partners, you
United
hear?
Arab Emirates.
So now
who
we
have
are
chosen
Hessians for the Arab League. You hear this? That's what it's come down to under Comrade Barry. We became Hessians for the Arab League.
To summarize them,
Why
in
didn't the
just 1
Saudis
month,
send in troops,
the
Barry?
United States has worked with our international partners.
Why didn't the
to
Saudis send in
mobilize
their
a broad
military? They have a hell of an F-16 fleet.
People were being brutalized in Bosnia in the 1990s.
Oh, yeah, you got a lot back for that, didn't you, when Clinton bombed the Serbs? You got an awful lot back from your friends in Kosovo. Your wonderful Albanian friends gave America a real gift.
Moreover, we've accomplished these objectives consistent with the pledge.
This
that
is
I
the
made
problem.
to
For 1 minute, I got to tell you. Here's the problem. Those with power write the history. He has the power so he can rewrite the history of what Bill Clinton did to the Serbian people, which was a war crime. Now he's using that war crime to justify this war crime. Go ahead, listen to more. Listen to more, Comrade Barry.
Responsibility to our allies and partners. Tonight, we are fulfilling that pledge.
Listen, what this man has just done is a war crime, number one. Number two, he's backing Al-Qaeda. Either he knows it or he doesn't. If he knows it, then he's committing treason. If he doesn't know it, then he's a dunce.
The risk and costs of this operation to our military
$600 million to us over 6 days.
Will be reduced significantly.
$600 million he just took out of the Treasury in order to make certain that France and Italy have oil. You hear? $100 million a day.
Now, despite the success of our efforts.
Does he think he's the Messiah? What is wrong with this man? This man has hubris and egomania like I've never seen in my life. Why doesn't he just get up with mission accomplished behind him now? Maybe there should be a little mission accomplished sign behind him, and he can put on a bomber jacket that he can borrow from Bill Clinton.
On the one hand, some question why America should intervene at all.
Who's the some? Add me to that list.
They argue that there are many places in the world where...
That's right, there are many. Start with China.
Without putting American troops on the ground.
Well, let me tell you something about that. You can't win without putting American troops on the ground.
As a leader...
If you studied military history instead of Saul Alinsky, you would find out that bombing campaigns per se never work.
A betrayal of who we are.
You know who we are?
May be able to turn a blind
You're going to
eye
define America for me?
The United States of America is different. And as president, I refuse to wait for the images of slaughter and mass graves before taking action.
Oh, yeah, here we go again. Well, it wasn't for you and Hillary, there would have been 1 million dead.
Moreover,
You want to get another Nobel Prize? I'm sorry, I take it back. You're a greater man than I even thought. You're as great as Gandhi. You give him another Nobel Prize now. He just saved another 1 million people.
Refugees across Libya's borders, putting enormous strains on the peaceful yet fragile transitions in Egypt and Tunisia.
Peaceful? Are you crazy? The actual reports are the opposite. There's anarchy, corruption, murder, and rape going on in Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood is the big winner in Egypt.
Leadership is not simply a matter of going it alone and bearing all of the burden ourselves.
Oh, no.
Real leadership creates the conditions.
Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets, huh?
To step up as well. To work with allies and partners so that they bear their
What
share.
allies? The Arab League is your ally all of a sudden. When did they become my ally? They wanted to cut my throat last week.
Of course, even when we act as part of a coalition, the risks of any military action...
I know, mission accomplished. Okay, now you can go back on vacation. Leave for Ireland. Please, leave again.
Planes malfunction over Libya.
Go to Ireland next. Go early.
We are
How much
so
more of this childish crap can America take from this man on training wheels? See, he's still a community organizer. He's still giving an idealistic speech to a group of diehard fanatics who believe every word he says. But again, if you are raised with a mind to analyze, it's a hollow speech.
There are places like Egypt where this change will inspire us and raise our hopes.
You see, there's the big lie. Egypt is a mess. It is violence. It is filled with violence, rape, murder, corruption, graft. There are roadblocks on every street. But the liars in the media left so that he can get away with the big lie about after wrecking Egypt, it's now a paradise. Don't you understand? It's all a lie to you. The whole thing's a lie. It's all a construct.
The United States will not be able to dictate the pace and scope of this change. Only the people of the region can do that. But we can make a difference.
Oh, whenever he gets down into that voice, you know it's a double lie. When he gets that extra sincere, but we can, then you know it's a double lie. That's a double lie. That's a signal. Now I'm really going to give it to you.
Have guided us through many storms.
Who do you believe, your husband or your eyes?
Opposition to violence directed at one's own people.
Who do you believe, your husband or your eyes?
Support for a set of
Who are
universal
you going to
rights,
believe, me or your own eyes?
including the freedom for people to express themselves and choose
Get out
their
the
leaders.
violins already, please.
Our support for governments that are ultimately responsive to the aspirations.
How about, let's start with Iran, the most despotic nation in the Middle East, and the desire of the people to live in the 19th or 20th century, rather than the 15th century where your friends, the mullahs, have dragged them. Let's start with Iran.
We welcome the fact that history is on
One tomahawk
in the Middle East
can
and North
liberate
Africa,
the Iranian people. One
and that young
tomahawk.
people are leading the way.
Here we go again. The dungaree dolls did it.
Because wherever
Here's the big
people
lie.
long to be
Young people, that makes them good, you hear? Young is good, old is bad. Young people means good people. Young people means wise people. because they have a BlackBerry in their palm. It means they're already smart.
Those ideals that are the
And the minute the schmucks with the dungarees and the BlackBerries get out of the way, Al-Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood take over. What, you haven't read what's going on over there?
I know that at a time of...
What's on the agenda tonight in the White House? Another basketball team?
When the news is filled with
Well,
conflict...
what sport is on tonight? It's a Monday. Get back to the TV.
And as I've said before, our strength abroad is anchored in our strength here at home.
Oh, God.
That must always be our North Star. The ability of our people to
Your
reach
North
their
Star is
potential.
a red star. That's your North Star.
Choices with our resources.
Your North Star is a red
Enlarge
star,
the
Bubba.
prosperity that serves as a wellspring for our power.
What prosperity?
To live the values that we hold so dear.
Did anyone tell me where prosperity came from?
But let us
When did we
also
become
remember
prosperous?
that for generations,
We're a basket
we
case
have done the hard work
from
of
the man's profligate
protecting our own
spending.
people as well as millions around the globe.
And let me tell you something else.
We have done so because we know that our own future is safer. Our own future is brighter.
Do you feel
more
safer and brighter because of the war that he launched on the Libyan people? $600 million in 6 days. Where'd the money come
Let's give
from?
thanks for the Americans who are serving through these trying times.
All right.
And the
all right,
coalition
terrific.
that is carrying
All
our
right. In
efforts
other words,
forward.
one
us look to the
lie
future with
piled
confidence.
upon another.
Savage.
For the soul of America, and if you have an analytical brain, you know that the man made the whole thing up. He's in deep trouble. Even Comrade Barry had to go. Comrade Barry had to take time out from entertainment on Monday night, and there were an awful lot of sports on last night to give a speech at the National War College as opposed to in the Oval Office where it would have been seen as an act of war. The fact is that he made not only a big mistake, it was unconstitutional, and of course it was a violation of every principle that America stands for. He went over the Defense Department. It was 3 women who launched this war: Hillary Clinton, Susan Rice, and Samantha Powers, according to everything I can read. They're in the tradition of Madeleine Albright, a war criminal. I'll be right back.
Savage.